Hello everyone, I'm here to do a collective reading, so if you are here, this might be for you. However, if it does not fit, do not force it. Take only what resonates and leave the rest, okay? Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so, we're gonna hop into the Osho Zen today. I like that. Alright. Haven't been guided to use the Osho Zen in a while, so that's cool. Alright, Spirit. What do we have for the Divine Collective today? What do we have for the Divine Collective today? All right, we have the King of Swords, control. Okay. You're being guided to make some changes internally. The way that you look at things, okay? How sternly you hold yourself on the inside. There's a lot of things you could hold yourself to. A lot of, I heard invulnerabilities, a lot of protection methods, a lot as well, like there's an over control of the self, okay? A lock-in of the self. I'm hearing different odd words here. Okay, it's like being trapped inside of yourself, not allowing yourself to let loose, not allowing yourself to express freely. Okay, some sort of, like I said, invulnerability here. Okay. It's this desire to control. Like, look, he's very locked up inside of himself here, right? He's very rigid, very stern. I heard very hard-headed, okay? There could be a stubbornness here. A lock-in on one's own perspectives. Okay? You're being guided to look without. The image of the King of Clouds reminds us to take a deep breath, loosen our neckties, and take it easy, okay? You might be overstressing yourself, possibly overworking yourself. If mistakes happen, it's okay. If things get a little out of hand, it's probably just what the doctor ordered. There is much, much more to life than being on top of things, okay? So you could have very possibly felt like you made some sort of mistake recently, or that you overspoke is what I just heard, or you overspend it. It's another one I just heard. Okay, it feels as though you're keeping yourself so trapped in like a box almost here, so as to not like get out of line. Okay, this is an anxious state to live in. This is a very anxious state to live in. It's like a scrupulous energy where you're feeling like you need to be a certain way, a certain, like hold yourself a very certain way so as to, I heard, not rock the boat, or so as to, not make any mistakes. We're human. We make mistakes. Okay? We're human. Things happen. 3, 2, 1 on the timer. You're being a little too rigid at the moment, okay? There's a need to forgive yourself for your own mistakes. Forgive yourself for your humanity. 3, 3, 3 on the timer. Ooh, I got chills with that. Okay? Your humanity is what allows you to change and transform and learn new things and experience all sorts of different aspects of life, of the world, of your environment, of other people. And staying stuck and trapped within your mind, overanalyzing every single thing you do. I'm getting the color red, or like a red-orange here. Okay, it's like this overanalyzing of your own self-control, or self-discipline. It's like I just keep getting rigid. It's rigid. Okay, your energy needs to flow. It needs to move. Dance a little bit. Like move a little bit. Let yourself have some fun. Okay? Someone here is overworking their mind and overanalyzing themselves, and it's like you don't want to you're being very strategic not to make any mistakes in your life, because you're afraid of getting reprimanded or punished or something like that. Okay? God is not of punishment. He's not, and like, You're allowed to be human. You're allowed to shift and flow. This is not a flow state. You're very intelligent. You're very intelligent, okay? You know how to communicate. You know how to, you really know how to use your words in a productive manner, I heard, okay? You could be very good with like writing. Could be very good with business, okay? Very good with communicating with others and like a speaker of some sort. But you're not in a flow, okay? You don't let things come to you. You could get stressed easily because of this over focus on the mental state, okay? There's a need to let things shake up inside a little bit. Let yourself shift and change. 555 on the timer. Let yourself shift and change. Okay, more information on this control card here, Spirit. This King of Swords. You could be an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Don't have to be, though, right? One moment. Clarifier for the King of Swords, please, Spirit. Clarifier for the King of Swords. Okay, we got two here. We have the aloneness card and the suppression card. Yeah. You're holding in too much, okay? This rigidity. There's a need to let loose. There's a need to shake it out. There's a need to talk about things that you need to talk about, okay? You know how to talk about things. You know how to express. You know how to communicate. You're just having a hard time communicating about things within you, okay? You have a lot of, it seems like you have a lot of attachments to certain things, or attachments to like the past, some wounding, some root wounding or something like that here, okay? Like I said, I saw red and orange. There's something to do with the with your foundations, okay? With your sense of self-empowerment, your sense of self-empowerment and passions, okay? There's a feeling here of like being ashamed of some passion or some level of passion here, okay? It's keeping a lot of things to yourself. Find someone to talk to. You need to let some things out, okay? You're being guided to really take some time to reflect on why you hold so much in, why you think you have to be so controlled over yourself, okay? What within your upbringing caused you to feel like you had to cage yourself, or it's like this feeling of I have to be stronger, or I have to be, I can't, like, I have to be a certain way. I guess I'm getting a macho man kind of feeling from this, okay? You don't have to be a man, but there's definitely masculine energy, prominent masculine energy here, okay? Where you feel like you have to, like, be the man. You feel, even if you are a woman, okay, you feel like you have to be stronger and put on you know, like a stern face. You feel like you have to, be about big business all the time. And you don't allow yourself to have fun or to speak about certain things here. Okay, I'm going to read from the this Hermit card, the aloneness card. I'm not lonely. I'm alone. The humble figure in this card glows with a light that emanates from within. One of Gautama Buddha's most significant contributions to the spiritual life of humankind was to insist to his disciples, be a light unto yourself. Ultimately, each of us must develop within ourselves the capacity to make our way through the darkness without any companions, maps, or guides. Okay, you're strictly, again, there's attachments to others. There's like this feeling, this need to impress others with your level of control, or your level of discipline, your level of intelligence, your level of work. Okay, it's like there's a want to prove yourself here. You don't need to prove yourself. You're not here to prove yourself to others. 10-10 on the timer. You're not here. There's something that you're being asked to release, to let go of. Okay? You have an opportunity to master something here. If you allow yourself to unravel, unwind. This is very tense energy, okay? There's I'm getting like a pain in the neck. There could be a lot of neck tension. You could carry a lot of stress in your neck. It's because there's stuff that you don't vocalize. You're good at communicating, though. You're good at expressing. You're just expressing your level of control, of discipline, of big business, of how else can I explain this? I've already said those things. If energy is allowed to move, though, those repressions will surface. Suppression, repression. If you have no expectations for the future, if you are not performing, then why should you be nervous about letting certain parts of yourself out? You're relying or you're fearing what other people may think if you let yourself lose control a little bit, if you let yourself express in new ways, if you let yourself veer off into territory that is unknown to you. Okay? That's why people have learned how to be cold, how to touch others and yet not touch them, how to see people and yet not see them. Okay, you are very good with the voice. You know how to express in a way to inspire. You know how to express in a way to connect, but you do it in a way of still lacking a true connection or a true empathy, a true understanding here. People don't look into each other's eyes. They don't hold hands. They don't try to feel each other's energies. They don't allow each other to pour. Very afraid, somehow just managing, cold and dead in a straitjacket. You've got yourself locked up here with energies that are not conducive to your growth, okay? It's like this repetition of old pattern or a repetition of strings attached to your stability, strings attached to your passions. It's like you have a certain way of expressing, you have a certain way of going after your passions, but it's a way that's comfortable, and it's a way that keeps you rigid because of this. Okay? And it is because of this desire to impress others with your control and your discipline. Okay. More information on this 10 of Wands, please. Past lives, the outside. Yeah, okay. Okay, we have the Moon card in the reverse. We have the 5 of Pentacles. In your childhood, you could have felt neglected or left out. Okay? The outsider. You could have felt outcasted, or you could have felt, as a child, you could have felt like your parents left you to your own devices too often. Okay? And some of this could stem back to childhood, to past lives here. But there's definitely something regarding a fear of being locked out. Okay, of being left on your own. If you don't impress people with your wit, with your intellect, with your self-discipline and control and this overthinking. There's so much focus in the mind if you're not constantly always looking at something and criticizing yourself. That's what this is. There's a criticizing of the self. Okay? You feel like you'll be locked out of possibilities if you don't have this repetitive criticism of yourself. Okay? But the thing is you are keeping yourself locked out from new adventure, from new horizons, from new adventures, from expanding your perspective, for expanding your perceptions and your worldview by keeping yourself, I heard, straddled in your comfort zone. Okay? You have this fear of being lazy. As if having fun, as if allowing yourself to do something other than criticize yourself would be lazy. That's not, no. Oh man, that neck tension, dude. You hold so much in because of this. It's like you want to guide, you want to inspire, you want to impress, and you do it in a certain way that gains inspiration and following and impression. Okay? But it keeps you locked inside yourself here. More information. Oh, okay, we'll keep you out. More information here, Spirit. More information. There's a sort of cycle that you keep repeating, okay? You're being stuck in the past. There's some sort of wound here that isn't healing because you're not taking a different approach. You're taking the same comfort zone approach over and over again. And this is a pattern that you're not quite understanding why you can't break out of this feeling of abandonment or fear of being neglected. It's because you are dealing with it the same way over and over again, okay? You need to be open. You need to open yourself to feeling in different ways, to thinking in different ways. For a moment, these are two like super opposite energies. This is the King of Swords. This is the Queen of Cups. Okay? There's a need to stop thinking so much and dip down into your feelings. And dip down into positive feelings instead of over-criticizing yourself consistently. If I do this, I'm going to be casted out. If I do this, I'm going to be left out. If I do this, people are going to look at me as though I don't have self-control. You're allowed to make mistakes. Okay? There's a need to drop into the heart space. Yeah, your expression is on fire. You know how to communicate very well. You know how to guide others with your voice. But if you're not connecting to that heart space, if you're not dropping down in here and connecting there, then you're going to miss something with others. There's a connection point that needs to be bridged. Otherwise, this doesn't go all the way through. This can come off as, I just heard vindictive. This can come off as cold and it can come off as callousness. Okay. What else, Spirit? There's a need to be open to new ways of feeling your emotions. Okay? Open up to experiencing new physical experiences, new ways of experiencing your own body. Okay? New studies, new avenues of education. Okay? And new projects or new endeavors that allow you to experience new sides of life that you haven't experienced before. Okay, you are being guided by Spirit to take a moment to ask yourself why you feel the need to be surrounded by others, or to have some sort of support for your fears, almost. Okay, it's like there's a leaning on others to accommodate your fears or to accommodate your self-perception or to accommodate your cycles. But the thing is I feel like there's a level of enabling here, enabling your cycles, which is it's causing you to stifle your growth. Oh my gosh, the Queen of Cups is there again. Okay, so we're going to read from this Queen of Cups card. Receptivity. To be open to flow. Okay, this control. It's almost as if he is almost mummified inside this structure he's built up around himself. His fists are clenched and his stare is blank, almost blind. He sees things in a tunnel vision. Okay, it's very calculated. It's you're not expanding your horizons here. This is tough, man. She is filled, and as she is filled, she is continuously emptying herself, overflowing and receiving more. So whatever knowledge or emotions that are entering your field, you are overanalyzing them and you're attaching to them instead of letting them flow through you, observing them, okay? The lotus pattern or matrix that emerges from her represents the perfect harmony of the universe that becomes apparent when we are in tune with it. You're very in tune with your mind, right? Your mind's very in tune, but it's not aligned with your heart at the moment. Okay, you have some heart wounding that needs to be worked on. There's some tears that need to be cried. There's some rigidity. There's this callousness, this coldness, this feeling of being stuck to repeating a childhood cycle. Okay? The Queen of Water brings a time of unboundedness and gratitude for whatever life brings, without any expectations or demands. Neither duty or thought of merit or reward are important. Sensitivity, intuition, and compassion are the qualities that shine forth now, dissolving all the obstacles that keep us separate from each other and from the whole. Okay? You're keeping yourself in this position of separation from others because whether this is conscious or unconscious, there's a desire here to, like I had said, impress others, okay? You're driven by the thought of receiving merit or reward for your self-discipline, for your control. Okay, maybe your parents only, like you felt like you only got attention from your parents when you weren't being emotional. When you felt like you weren't feeling things. You could have been locked away for all of your emotions or something here. You feel like you have a duty. You have to, that's that overthinking, that overanalyzing. You feel like you have a duty to always criticize yourself, scrutinize yourself, to a level of punishing yourself for certain emotions, for being receptive and open. There's like a regret around allowing yourself to connect at a emotional baseline. More information on this Queen of Cups, please. More information on this Queen of Cups. The Nine of Pentacles. Okay. You're being guided to be receptive towards yourself. Relationships come and go. People come and go. Our connections come and go. People are in our lives to present us with lessons. Whether for a second, whether for a month, a decade, whether for a season or a reason, people are in our life to teach us different things, each and every one of them. But it doesn't mean they're supposed to stay around in our lives forever. Most of them aren't. Okay, there's a grasping to certain connections here. There's a grasping to connections. And these are connections that enable you to sit in a childhood wound. You grasp to the connections that reward you for being strict with yourself. Okay. This is the Nine of Pentacles. It's a card of independence, of emotional independence. It's like I feel like you may be a person that like asks others how you should feel about a situation, or if it's okay that I'm feeling this way, or, is it okay? Ask yourself that. You don't need to look to others for an okay of expressing yourself, of reaching out. You're allowed to reach out when you need. And if anybody were to outcast you, turn you away because you had an emotional need, those people aren't meant to be in your life, collective. Those people aren't meant to be aligned with you. They enable you to feel trapped in wanting like a pat on the back for overanalyzing yourself and not allowing yourself to feel. That's so strict. You're so strict with yourself. It's causing you to be cold in the heart space. And then it's causing this tension in the neck because you're holding so much stress there. Let it drop and let it flow. Otherwise, a feeling of bitterness could come in. A resentment towards relationships that leave your life. A resentment towards relationships, platonic, familial, or romantic, doesn't matter. A resentment towards relationships that you have outgrown or that have outgrown you. You end up holding on to an anger, a desire to control the other person because you don't want them to leave. And that's not a way to keep connections. You need to connect to the heart space and allow yourself to feel so that you can connect with others. That is where you will find staying connection. When you don't look to others for, is it okay for me to feel this? Is it okay for me to let loose? There's a need, you are being guided by spirit to spend some time by yourself. Stop bouncing all of your thoughts and feelings off of another person or other people. Okay? Because this is causing you to not be independent. This is causing you to rely on another for a sense of stability or security. Okay? When this card appears in a reading, it indicates that you are ready to share your inner riches, your juice. All you need to do is relax where you are and be willing for it to happen. The sharing of yourself, this expression of your creativity can come in many ways. In your work, your relationships, your everyday life experiences. No special preparation or effort on your part is required. It is simply the right time. You feel as though you constantly have to prepare and pray for confirmation and look for the repercussions of actions before you take actions. How about for a moment you just act on what your heart feels instead of asking your mind before you make every move? I feel this energy. I used to be in this energy. At one point I felt like I needed to make myself smaller here. I felt as though I just heard cripple. I felt like I needed to cripple myself, basically. So that I'd always have something to work on. Because if I was always working on something, everyone was always impressed because I was working on something. Instead of allowing myself to complete cycles. It was like this, it was like I would almost like re-trigger myself purposely. I would not let myself close out cycles so that I would have something to fucking think about as a way of preparing myself for what lies ahead. For the next hardship or the next struggle. Struggles are always coming. You can't just sit there and prepare yourself. You're never going to be completely prepared for the future. Okay, for the unknown. There's a fear of the unknown that comes with this suppression of self here. You need to release. You need to let go of control. You can't control circumstances. Like, controlling yourself can only go so far. With the Thunderbolt, which was the Tower card, there's only so much you can control within yourself that affects the outside. There's going to be things outside of your control that affect your inner world, and there's nothing you can do about it because you're not supposed to constantly control yourself. You don't grow that way. You don't feel that way. You cage your own heart up, your emotions, your passion, and it causes you to feel insecure or unstable if you are not constantly preparing for things that you're not supposed to prepare for anyways. You know? Oh, you carry a lot of stress, man. You carry a lot of heavy burden. You carry a lot of weight here. Responsibilities, obligations to cycles that you don't have an obligation to anymore. You are holding yourself, you are trapping yourself, and you are keeping yourself out of your own, there was the possibility card. You are keeping yourself out of your own possibilities by repeating these wounded cycles. It's time to let go. Or use a different kind of healing modality. Okay? You're in your comfort zone here. But this comfort zone keeps you restricted. It keeps you feeling small. Okay? You could feel, there's a possibility you feel triggered by those that are open with their emotions, or that those that are receptive to change. That flow with the current. These kinds of things could cause you an anger or could make you feel as though you are rushed. Here, there's some level of projection upon energies of independence here. Energies that allow themselves to, I heard, revitalize their own what? Spirit. Allow themselves to revitalize, I guess. Spirit's not giving me anything else there. Okay, because here you're not revitalizing yourself. You re-trigger yourself of your traumas, possibly childhood traumas. Doesn't have to be though, okay? Even for some of you, past life traumas. Doesn't have to be though, right? You re-trigger yourself through connections that enable this re-triggering. Through connections that enable you to move in this wounded modality. As though you have to constantly work on something. It's like this getting stuck in a healing trap. Like, I was stuck in a healing trap for years, man. I did a lot of this heavy internal work for years when I put myself into isolation, into this kind of hermit mode where I was like, I need to work on these things. And I stuck myself in there for like 2 or 3 years, and I didn't let anybody else help me. And I went through a lot of anger, a lot of discontentment, especially towards my childhood. And at some point, I'd say this was 2 years ago, at some point I realized that I was becoming bitter because of this. Because I was replaying over and over again things that happened in my childhood, or all these different situations where I felt like I wasn't accepted, that I was rejected, that I was left out, this fear of missing out. And I was like, if I only do more work, if I only do more work, if I only do more work. But that just kept me in this cycle of anger. It kept me in this cycle of rigidity. And man, did my body fucking hurt. Did my energy hurt. It got to a point where I wasn't even really eating. It got to a point where I wasn't really going outside because I was inside the house in my mind constantly looking for what I could heal next. It's a healing trap. It's a healing trap. It's this thing of this, it's a kind of a toxic positivity thing where you feel as though you have to heal all the wounding and all the dark parts of yourself. You're not supposed to eliminate that stuff. Yeah, there's some things like projection or anger, not anger, frustration, pettiness. These are the kinds of things that you are supposed to eliminate through, and that's not something that's done overnight either. You're supposed to eliminate those things through this internal work, but you're not supposed to eliminate some shadow parts of yourself. You're supposed to work together with these parts and give them love. You're not giving love to certain parts of yourself that are desiring love. You're just punishing them like possibly your parents did. I'm going to share a little bit more from my own experience. Whenever I started to look at these attachments to this wounding that I had as it was keeping me disconnected from others because of this disconnection from my heart, because I was always feeling sad and like almost victimized by the things that I'd been through because I couldn't stop thinking about them, because I couldn't stop reliving them. And the more I thought about them, the more I'd trigger myself and the loop would keep going. Once I realized that they were weighing me down is when I started to let them go. Oh, I got chills. Once I started to realize that my dedication to eliminating the dark parts of myself. And the thing is that lots of people look at dark parts and shadow sides in the wrong way. They see it as all the negative things, as all the creepy crawlies. That's not all it is. Shadow side is also that part of us that feels insecure. It's the part of us that feels like we have to do this. That's a shadow. That's a shadow in itself. Feeling like you have to constantly work on something, you constantly have a wound to focus on, that's a shadow. You're supposed to make friends with that. Not to reprimand it and beat it up over and over again. Oh, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Okay? It's time to let some stuff go. Stop re-triggering yourself. Stop focusing on the wounds for a little bit. Have some fun. Look at the bright side of life. Okay? There's something within your heart, and I'm feeling it in my fucking neck and my shoulders. There is something within your heart that is ready. There is something that it is time to let go. There is something that wants to be felt in a new way, or felt at all. Okay, it's keeping like this gray cloud. Yeah, I see the clouds here and the clouds here. It's keeping you stuck in the muck. It's keeping you feeling like it's a cloudy day. It's a cloudy day every day. It's like this heaviness. There's a lot of weight here. It's dark. And it's sad. It makes you feel down. It makes you feel ashamed. And it causes you to project things upon others that outgrow a certain modality, that step into a receptivity, because you're not allowing yourself to be in this, okay? Whatever negativities you're finding in your connections here, it's a reflection of what you are keeping inside of yourself. Okay? Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Collective, it's okay to feel. It's okay to feel. It's okay to open up. It's okay to not constantly overanalyze yourself and criticize yourself. You are human. It's okay to make mistakes. We're all here with wounds. It seems like you've taken a lot of fucking time here. You've taken a lot of time to do this over and over again, and it's keeping you stuck. You need to give yourself some time to break away from this desire for a reward for your discipline, your self-discipline and control. Yes, have self-discipline and control, but damn, not in this same exact way over and over again. You're hurting yourself. And you might not even know it. Okay? I'm going to get a Gaia Oracle card to close out this message for you. It feels heavy. It feels heavy. Ooh, I'm getting a tingling in the eyes. Cry if you need to. Let that shit out. Let that shit out. I want to preach about that. About people letting that shit out. It's okay. You are human. You have emotions. You're not going to be punished by it. And again, if there are connections in your life that punish you for crying, that punish you for feeling emotions, that punish you for being vulnerable or feeling vulnerable, they are not meant to be in your life. You don't need to, because you cry about something or because you feel sad about something or because you feel hurt about something, you don't need to sit there and be like, well, what's wrong with me? What do I need to fix because of that? You don't need to do that. You're hurting yourself. You're keeping yourself stuck here. Attached to your parents that told you that it was wrong for you to feel. Okay? Can I get a closing message, please, guys, for the collective that resonated with this message? Closing message. Ooh. Oh, we got two of them. Where'd you go? Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to reshuffle. It'll come out again if I'd like to. It didn't feel... There was the Gaia card, which is about receptivity and spiritual understanding. So that one kind of resonated. But the other two didn't really align. Spirit, closing message, please. For those that resonated with this message from Spirit. I heard release yourself from the trap. The healing trap. Oh, shit. The healing trap. I just heard when you exit the healing trap is when the true healing begins. Emotional cleansing, rejuvenation. Isn't that... Oh, no, I use revitalization, right? It's close, though. Rejuvenation. Very similar cards here. Very similar energies. Huh. Koda, hey. Koda. That's a nasty sound. Stop. Okay, number 32. The number 32 could be significant for you. Okay. Well, that's not the Gaia Oracle. Okay, I'm going to read this card, and then I'm going to give you a rundown, all right? This card signifies healing and rejuvenation, which comes as a result of emotional cleansing. In the coming days, you may experience some emotional turmoil. These deep feelings that you thought you had already dealt with but are and previously resolved resurface seemingly out of nowhere. Do not be concerned, for a profound healing is taking place. You're being guided to let this out and not deal with it in the same way that you always do. Don't deal with it by thinking about it. For once, let it out. Feel it. Don't think about it. Because the more you think about these emotions that are coming up to the surface for you to heal, the more you're going to get stuck in this damn cycle. That's a lonely cycle. It feels lonely even when you're surrounded by people. Okay? Once you heal this cycle that you keep repeating, you're going to feel very confident in your own independence here. When you express yourself, when you express your intelligence or your education, you're not going to do it in a way of desiring others to reward you for your self-discipline and intelligence. You're going to do it as a way to guide others of how to let go of this cycle. As these emotions come up in the next few days, feel it. I like to say, you got to feel it to heal it. Because I too used to think it to feel it, to heal it, and realize that you can't heal things by thinking about them. Keeps you stuck. Okay. Emotionally cleansed and rejuvenated, she now is ready to move fully into her power, free of the emotional baggage that she previously carried. When you let this stuff out, when you allow this suppression, I heard of years of suppression out, you're going to feel rejuvenated, and it's going to feel bing, 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 like you have achieved something that you have been working at for years. You just need to take it on differently. You just need to look at it differently. Feel it to heal it. Do not think about it. Feel it to heal it. Feel it to heal it. Stop re-triggering yourself. Stop punishing yourself for making mistakes. And these mistakes that you're making is just feeling emotions. That's not a mistake. That's your humanness. You're not a fucking robot, dude. Collective, sis, I don't know. You're not a robot. You're a human being. Sit with yourself. Sit with these emotions. Let them out. And don't call on someone else to think through it, to talk through it. Sit with it. Solitude is very important in childhood healing, especially if you were someone that was placed to sit with yourself as a child. That's the hardest thing to do as an adult. If you were this child, it is terrible. That is the hardest thing to do, is to sit with yourself. But once you do it, trust in me when I say this, once you sit with yourself in that, however long it might take. Now, this might not just be one day or one weekend, okay? This might be weeks, months. For me, it was 2 or 3 years. But once you sit with this stuff, it feels fucking good afterwards. When you let this stuff out, it's this rejuvenation. It's this feeling like a new woman. It's this feminine power coming out. I think that this reading is for a woman or a woman presenting person but you feel like you have to be the macho man. You don't gotta be the macho man. Like, I wanna cry right now. You don't gotta be the macho man. You're meant to be healing. Self-healing. And this would radiate out to others. This is how you're meant to be. But because you keep placing yourself in this cycle of wounding, you're blocking yourself off from achieving what you're actually working for over and over again. You need to get out of the comfort zone and take things on in a new way. And once you do, you're going to feel new. Things are going to feel ripe. You're going to feel in your prime. Okay? And then you will understand yourself better, and you will understand others better because of that. All right? So I hope this found whoever it was meant for, and I hope it found you in a receptive state. If you are feeling drawn to me as a reader, I do offer personal readings for $24.44. If you are interested, my email will be in the comments as well as my bio. So don't be afraid to reach out and email me. We will set something up. We will get something figured out. Okay? Be open to yourself, all right? All right. Much love, collective. Sorry, a siren. They're going by really fast. But much love, collective. Till next time.